You are never alone. Not for a single moment. Not in your darkest hour, not in your greatest triumph, not in the ordinary moments that make up your days. There is a presence with you right now, in this very instant, that has never left you and never will. This isn't some distant concept or religious idea that you have to believe in before it becomes real. This is truth. This is the fundamental nature of your existence. You came from something infinite, something loving, something that doesn't know how to abandon its own creation. Think about the miracle of your breath right now. You're not making it happen. You're not consciously directing your heart to beat, or your cells to regenerate, or your body to heal a cut on your finger. Something else is doing that for you, something intelligent, something that loves you so much it won't let you stop existing even when you're not paying attention. That same force, that same intelligence, that same love is with you in everything else too. It's not selective. It doesn't say, I'll handle your breathing, but you're on your own with your problems. No, it's all in, completely, totally, without reservation. When you feel afraid, when the world seems too big and your problems seem insurmountable, remember this: the power that created galaxies lives inside you. The same energy that transforms a tiny seed into a mighty oak tree is working in your life right now. You are not separate from this power. You are an expression of it. You are how the universe experiences itself. You are how the divine shows up in physical form. And just as that power wouldn't abandon the seed or the galaxy, it will not abandon you. But here's what happens. We forget. We get so caught up in the drama of our lives, in the bills we have to pay, in the relationships that challenge us, in the health issues we face, in the disappointments that pile up, that we forget who we really are. We start to believe the illusion. We start to think we're just these small, separate beings who have to fight and struggle and claw our way through life alone. And that belief, that forgetting, that's what causes our suffering. Not the circumstances themselves, but our belief that we're facing them alone. Let me tell you something that will change your life if you really hear it. God is not somewhere else, watching you from a distance, judging whether you're good enough, deciding whether to help you or not. God is the very life force animating you right now. God is the awareness reading these words. God is the love you feel when you look at someone you care about. God is the creativity that flows through you when you're in the zone. God is the peace that comes over you when you finally let go and trust. You are not separate from God. You are in God and God is in you, and there is no space between you. This means something profound. It means that every single moment of your life you have access to infinite wisdom, infinite love, infinite power, not because you've earned it, not because you're special, but because it's your birthright. It's what you are made of. You don't have to beg for it or prove yourself worthy of it. You just have to remember it. You just have to stop blocking it with your doubts and fears and judgments. When you're going through something difficult, when life is testing you, when you can't see the way forward, there's a voice inside you that says, I'm with you. No matter what happens, I'm with you. That voice is not your imagination. That voice is not wishful thinking. That voice is the truth of your being speaking to you. It's the divine within you reminding you of what you've temporarily forgotten. And when you learn to listen to that voice, when you learn to trust it, everything changes. You see, most of us have been taught to trust everything except that inner voice. We trust our fears. We trust our doubts. We trust the negative opinions of others. We trust the evidence of our past failures. But we don't trust the still, small voice within that says, you can do this. You are loved. You are guided. You are never alone. And that's backwards. That's exactly backwards. That inner voice is the only thing you can truly trust, because it's connected to the source of all truth, all wisdom, all love. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking. You might be saying, but you don't know what I've been through. You don't know what I've done. You don't know how badly I've messed up. And you're right. I don't know your specific story. But I know this. Nothing you've done, nothing that's been done to you, nothing that's happened in your life has separated you from this divine presence. Nothing can. It's not possible. You can't be separated from what you are. You can only forget what you are. And the moment you remember, the moment you turn your attention back to that presence within, it's there. It's always been there. Waiting, patient, loving, never judging, never condemning, just holding you in perfect love. This is not about religion. This is not about following certain rules or believing certain doctrines. This is about reality. This is about the truth of who you are. You are a spiritual being having a human experience. You are not a human being trying to become spiritual. You already are spiritual. You already are divine. You already are whole and complete and perfect in your essence. The human experience, with all its ups and downs, with all its joys and sorrows, is just the adventure you're having. It's not who you are, it's what you're experiencing. And here's the beautiful part. When you really get this, when you really understand that you're never alone, that you're always supported, that you're always loved, you stop being so afraid. You stop needing life to go a certain way. You stop demanding that circumstances arrange themselves according to your preferences. You become like a surfer riding the waves instead of someone drowning in them. The waves are the same. The circumstances are the same, but your relationship to them is completely different. When you know you're not alone, when you feel that presence with you, you can face anything. You can walk through fire and not be burned. Not because the fire isn't real, but because you know that your essence, your true self, can't be destroyed by circumstances. You can lose your job and know you'll be okay. You can face a health crisis and know you'll be okay. You can go through a divorce or a bankruptcy or a loss and know, truly know, that you'll be okay. Because okay doesn't mean circumstances are the way you want them. Okay means you're still connected to the source. You're still breathing. You're still here. And as long as you're here, as long as you have life in you, you have the power to create, to love, to grow, to transform. But we've been taught to measure our worth by our circumstances. We think we're doing well when things are going well, and we think we're failing when things are falling apart. And that's a trap. That's a prison. Because circumstances change. They always have, and they always will. If your peace depends on circumstances, you'll never have lasting peace. If your happiness depends on things going your way, you'll spend most of your life unhappy. But if you can find that place inside you that's always peaceful, always content, always connected to Source, then you can be happy no matter what's happening around you. This is what it means to hear the message, I'm with you, no matter what happens. It means that your well-being doesn't depend on things going a certain way. It means that you're always being held, always being supported, always being loved, regardless of whether you get the job or lose the job, whether the relationship works out or doesn't, whether your health improves or declines. The circumstances of your life are just circumstances. They're not verdicts on your worth. They're not evidence of God's favor or disfavor. They're just the ever-changing conditions of physical existence. And when you stop resisting those changing conditions, when you stop fighting against what is, something miraculous happens. You find peace, you find flow, you find that life actually supports you more when you're not trying to control it so much. You find that solutions appear when you stop forcing them. You find that doors open when you stop banging on the ones that are closed. You find that life has a wisdom to it, an intelligence to it, that far exceeds your limited human understanding. This doesn't mean you become passive. This doesn't mean you stop setting goals or working toward things you want. It means you hold your goals lightly. It means you're willing to be surprised by how things unfold. It means you trust that there's a bigger picture, a larger plan, and that sometimes what looks like a setback is actually a setup for something better. Sometimes what looks like a disaster is actually a redirection toward your true path. How many times in your life has something bad happened that later turned out to be exactly what needed to happen? How many times have you lost something only to gain something better? How many times have you been forced off one path only to find yourself on a better one? If you're honest, you'll see this pattern throughout your life. You'll see that what you thought was the worst thing that could happen actually led to some of the best things in your life. And if it's happened before, why wouldn't you trust it to happen again? The message, I'm with you no matter what happens, is an invitation to surrender. Not surrender in the sense of giving up, but surrender in the sense of letting go of the need to control. It's an invitation to trust, to have faith, to believe that you're being guided even when you can't see where you're going, to know that you're being protected even when you feel vulnerable, to understand that you're being loved even when you feel alone. And here's what I've learned. The more you trust, the more trustworthy life becomes. The more you love, the more love flows into your life. The more you give, the more you receive. Not because you're manipulating some cosmic vending machine, but because you're aligning yourself with the fundamental principles of the universe. You're flowing with life instead of against it. You're opening instead of closing. You're expanding instead of contracting. Fear closes you. Fear makes you small. Fear tells you to protect yourself, to hold back, to build walls, to not trust anyone or anything. And when you live in fear, you cut yourself off from the very thing you need most: connection. Connection to others, connection to life, connection to source. You become isolated in your fear, and that isolation reinforces the illusion that you're alone. But love opens you. Love makes you expansive. Love tells you to trust, to give, to connect, to be vulnerable. And when you live in love, you align yourself with the truth of who you are. You remember that you're not separate. You remember that you're part of something infinite. You remember that you're never alone. So the question becomes, how do you live in love instead of fear? How do you remember instead of forget? How do you stay connected to that divine presence within you? And the answer is simpler than you think. You practice. You don't wait until you feel like it. You don't wait until circumstances are perfect. You practice right now, right where you are, with whatever you're facing. You practice by taking a moment, right now, to breathe, to feel your breath, to notice that you're alive, to recognize that something is keeping you alive without any effort on your part, and you let yourself feel grateful for that. Not grateful in some fake positive thinking kind of way, but genuinely grateful, genuinely in awe of the miracle of your existence. You practice by paying attention to the voice of fear when it speaks up, and instead of believing it automatically, you ask yourself, is this true? Is this really true? Or is this just fear talking? And 9 times out of 10, you'll realize it's just fear. It's not truth. It's not guidance. It's just the ego trying to protect you in the only way it knows how, which is to make you afraid. You practice by making different choices. Small choices at first. Instead of complaining about your circumstances, you look for something to appreciate in them. Instead of focusing on what's wrong, you acknowledge what's right. Instead of talking about your problems to everyone who will listen, you talk about your blessings. And yes, you have blessings. Even if your life is really hard right now, you have blessings. You're breathing, you have awareness, you have the ability to change. Those are enormous blessings. You practice by helping others, by taking the focus off yourself and your problems and asking, how can I serve? How can I be helpful? How can I be a presence of love in someone else's life? Because here's a secret. When you're focused on giving, you can't feel lack. When you're focused on loving, you can't feel unloved. When you're focused on being a blessing, you realize how blessed you are. You practice by forgiving, by letting go of grudges, by releasing resentment, by understanding that everyone is doing the best they can with the level of consciousness they have. This doesn't mean you condone bad behavior. It doesn't mean you stay in harmful situations. It just means you stop carrying the weight of anger and bitterness. It means you free yourself from the prison of unforgiveness. Because when you don't forgive, you're not hurting the other person. You're hurting yourself. You're cutting yourself off from the flow of love. You practice by being present, by bringing your attention back to this moment, right here, right now, not dwelling on the past, not worrying about the future, but being fully here. Because this moment is all you have. This moment is where life is happening. This moment is where the divine presence is available to you. You can't feel that presence while you're lost in thoughts about yesterday or tomorrow. You can only feel it now. And when you practice these things, something shifts. Gradually at first, then more and more noticeably. You start to feel different. You start to see differently. You start to experience life differently. Problems that used to devastate you don't have the same power over you anymore. Circumstances that used to send you into a tailspin now just roll off your back. People who used to trigger you don't trigger you the same way. You become more peaceful, more centered, more grounded in who you really are. And from that place of peace, from that place of connection, you can create anything. You can heal anything. You can transform anything, not through force or struggle, but through alignment. When you're aligned with Source, when you're connected to that divine presence within you, you have access to infinite intelligence. You have access to infinite creativity. You have access to infinite love. And those are the only resources you need to handle anything life brings you. But here's the thing. You have to use those resources. You have to act on the guidance you receive. You have to follow the intuition that comes to you. You have to take the steps that are in front of you, even when you can't see the whole staircase. Faith without action is just wishful thinking. Trust without movement is just passivity. You have to be a partner with the divine. You have to do your part. Your part is to show up, to be willing, to be open, to take the next right step. You don't have to figure out the whole thing. You don't have to have all the answers. You just have to be willing to take the next step, and then the next one, and then the next one. And when you do that, when you move forward with faith, trusting that you're being guided, trusting that you're not alone, trusting that everything is working out for your highest good, then miracles happen. Doors open that you didn't even know existed. Opportunities appear out of nowhere. People show up to help you. Resources become available. Things fall into place in ways you could never have orchestrated with your limited human mind. This is not magic. This is not luck. This is how life works when you're in alignment with it. This is what happens when you stop fighting and start flowing. This is what happens when you remember that you're not alone, that you're not separate, that you're not just this small human being struggling through life. Your infinite consciousness having a temporary human experience. Your divine energy expressing itself in physical form. You're a beloved child of the universe, and you're always, always, always being taken care of. Now, does this mean that nothing bad will ever happen to you? Of course not. You're in a physical body, in a physical world, and physical things happen. People get sick, people die, relationships end, businesses fail, accidents occur. That's the nature of physical existence. But here's what changes when you know you're not alone. Those things don't break you. They bend you maybe, they challenge you certainly, but they don't break you. Because your true self, your essence, your spirit can't be broken by circumstances. It can only be expanded by them. Every challenge you face is an opportunity to grow. Every problem you encounter is an invitation to evolve. Every painful experience you go through is a chance to develop compassion, wisdom, and strength. And when you see life this way, when you see everything as an opportunity rather than an obstacle, you stop being a victim, you stop blaming, you stop feeling sorry for yourself. You start taking responsibility for your experience. You start using everything for your growth. This is what it means to be a spiritual being. It doesn't mean you never struggle. It doesn't mean you never feel pain. It means you know that the struggle and the pain are not the whole story. They're just chapters in a much bigger book. They're just scenes in a much longer movie. And when you can step back and see the bigger picture, when you can remember that this life is just a brief moment in your eternal existence, then you can hold everything more lightly. You can say to yourself, okay, this is hard, this hurts, this is not what I wanted, but I'm not alone, I'm being held, I'm being guided. Something good is going to come from this. I may not see it now, but I trust that it's there. And that trust, that faith, that knowing, that's what carries you through. That's what gives you strength when you have no strength left. That's what gives you hope when everything looks hopeless. That's what gives you peace when everything around you is chaos. Because the message, I'm with you, no matter what happens, is not conditional. It's not, I'm with you when things are going well. It's not, I'm with you when you're being good. It's not, I'm with you when you're doing everything right. It's, I'm with you no matter what happens, no matter what you do, no matter what you don't do, no matter what happens to you, no matter what mistakes you make, no matter how far you stray, no matter how lost you get. The presence is always there. The love is always there. The support is always there. You just have to turn toward it. You just have to open to it. You just have to allow it. And the way you do that is by letting go of the stories you tell yourself about being unworthy, being undeserving, being broken, being damaged, being too far gone. Those are just stories. They're not true. They're just thoughts you've been thinking for so long that they feel true. But thoughts are not reality. Thoughts are just thoughts. And you can change them. You can start right now choosing different thoughts. Instead of, I'm all alone, you can think, I'm always supported. Instead of, nothing ever works out for me, you can think, things are always working out for me. Instead of, I'm not good enough, you can think, I'm exactly who I'm meant to be. And at first, these new thoughts might feel fake. They might feel like you're lying to yourself. But that's just because you're not used to them yet. Keep thinking them, keep choosing them, and gradually they'll become more natural. They'll become more believable. They'll become your new reality. Because here's the truth. You create your experience through your thoughts and beliefs. Not in some mystical, magical way where you can just think about money and it appears in your bank account, but in the very real sense that your thoughts and beliefs determine what you pay attention to, how you interpret events, what actions you take, and how you feel about everything. Two people can go through the exact same event and have completely different experiences based on their thoughts and beliefs about it. One person loses their job and falls into depression. Another person loses their job and sees it as freedom to pursue their passion. Same event, different thoughts, different experience. So if you want to change your experience, change your thoughts. If you want to feel less alone, start thinking thoughts that connect you to the divine. If you want to feel more loved, start thinking thoughts that acknowledge the love that's always flowing to you. If you want to feel more peaceful, start thinking thoughts that align with peace. You have more power than you realize. You're not a victim of your thoughts. You're the creator of them. And when you start using your power consciously, when you start choosing your thoughts deliberately, when you start focusing your attention intentionally, you become a co-creator with the divine. You become a partner in the creation of your life. You stop waiting for things to happen to you and start making things happen through you. You stop being passive and start being active. You stop being a victim and start being a creator. This is your birthright. This is what you came here to do. Not to suffer, not to struggle, not to just get through life, but to create, to love, to grow, to express the divine through your unique personality, your unique talents, your unique perspective. You are here to be a light in the world. You are here to be a force for good. You are here to be an expression of love. And you can't do that if you're living in fear, if you're feeling alone, if you're disconnected from your source. So come back home. Come back to the truth of who you are. Come back to the knowing that you're never alone. Come back to the feeling of being held, being loved, being guided. It's always available to you. It's never more than a breath away. It's never more than a thought away. It's never more than a choice away. Choose now. Choose in this moment. Choose to remember. Choose to trust. Choose to surrender. Choose to let go of the struggle and accept the support that's always been there. Choose to stop fighting and start flowing. Choose to stop resisting and start allowing. Choose to stop contracting and start expanding. Choose love over fear. Choose faith over doubt. Choose peace over anxiety. Choose trust over control. And watch what happens. Watch how your life begins to shift. Watch how doors begin to open. Watch how help begins to arrive. Watch how solutions begin to appear. Watch how peace begins to settle over you. Not because circumstances changed, but because you changed. Not because life got easier, but because you got stronger. Not because problems disappeared, but because you found a different relationship to them. This is the power of knowing you're not alone. This is the gift of feeling the divine presence with you. This is the freedom that comes from trusting that no matter what happens, you're being held, you're being loved, you're being guided, and it's available to you right now, not someday, when you're more spiritual, or more enlightened, or more worthy. Right now, exactly as you are, with all your flaws and all your fears and all your doubts, right now, the invitation is always open. The door is always unlocked. The presence is always waiting. All you have to do is turn toward it. All you have to do is say yes. All you have to do is allow yourself to receive what's always been freely given. And when you do, when you finally let yourself feel that love, that support, that connection, you'll wonder how you ever felt alone. You'll wonder how you ever thought you were separate. You'll wonder how you ever believed you had to do it all by yourself. Because the truth is, you never did. You never have. You never will. You are always, always, always held in the loving embrace of the divine. You are always, always, always guided by infinite wisdom. You are always, always, always supported by infinite power. And nothing, absolutely nothing, can separate you from that. Nothing you do, nothing you don't do, nothing that happens, nothing that doesn't happen. You are permanently, eternally, infinitely connected to Source. And that connection is your salvation, your strength, your peace, your joy, your power, your everything. So stop looking for what you already have. Stop searching for what you already are. Stop trying to earn what's already been given. Just receive it, just allow it, just open to it, and let it transform you from the inside out. Let it change how you see yourself. Let it change how you see others. Let it change how you see life. Let it change everything. Because when you really get this, when you really know that you're not alone, everything becomes possible. Every limitation dissolves. Every fear fades. Every doubt disappears. You become unstoppable. Not because you're so strong, but because you're connected to infinite strength. Not because you're so wise, but because you're connected to infinite wisdom. Not because you're so powerful, but because you're connected to infinite power. And that changes everything. It changes how you walk through the world. It changes how you face challenges. It changes how you treat people. It changes how you treat yourself. It changes what you believe is possible. It changes what you're willing to try. It changes what you're willing to risk. It changes everything. So hear this message today. Really hear it. Let it sink into every cell of your body. Let it penetrate every corner of your mind. Let it saturate every aspect of your being. You are not alone. You have never been alone. You will never be alone. There is a presence with you right now that loves you more than you can comprehend. There is a force supporting you that's more powerful than anything you'll ever face. There is an intelligence guiding you that knows exactly where you're going even when you don't. Trust it. Trust it with everything you have. Trust it with your whole heart. Trust it with your whole life. Because it's the only thing worthy of your trust. Everything else will let you down at some point. Everything else will fail you eventually. But this presence, this love, this divine connection, it will never fail you. It can't. It's the very foundation of your existence. It's the very essence of who you are. And when you know this, really know it, not just intellectually, but in every fiber of your being, you become free. Free from fear, free from worry, free from anxiety, free from doubt, free from the need to control, free from the need to know how everything will work out, free from the burden of thinking you have to figure it all out by yourself, free from the exhausting job of trying to hold your life together through sheer force of will. You can finally relax. You can finally breathe. You can finally be, because you know, beyond any shadow of doubt, that you're being held, you're being loved, you're being guided. And no matter what happens, no matter what challenges come, no matter what losses you face, no matter what changes occur, that will never change. The presence will always be there, the love will always be there, the support will always be there. This is the message. This is the truth. This is what you need to remember today and every day for the rest of your life. You are not alone. You are never alone. You will never be alone. And that makes all the difference. That changes everything. That is everything. So go forth into your life with confidence. Go forth with courage. Go forth with faith. Go forth knowing that you're supported, that you're loved, that you're guided. Go forth and create. Go forth and love. Go forth and be the magnificent expression of the divine that you came here to be. Because you can. Because you are, because you always have been. And no matter what happens on this magnificent adventure called life, no matter how high the highs or how low the lows, always remember, you are not alone. You are held. You are loved. You are guided. Now and forever. This is the promise. This is the truth. This is your reality. Accept it. Receive it. Live it. And watch your life transform in ways you never thought possible. The power is within you, the presence is with you, and nothing, absolutely nothing, can separate you from the love that you are, the love that holds you, the love that is the very essence of all that is.